let's jump right into more insane travel tips that should help you not only plan, but also make sure your time at the airport and on the airplane itself much more enjoyable. Number 1. No metal accessories. Getting through security is already stressful enough. With having to strip down out of your shoes and making sure all of your electronics are in separate bins, it can be quite frustrating. There's always that sense of overwhelming anxiety as you enter the metal scanner. A great way to reduce that anxiety is to simply not wear any metal accessories at all. There are plenty of belts and other accessories that are made of plastic or non-metal materials that could serve you a little more getting through the security line. Number 2. Pre-bag liquids. In order to go through security, you have to make sure that all your liquids are not only the right size, but in a separate bag as they go through the scanner. Having to take the time out at security to do this can be quite frustrating. Plus, oftentimes, the bags are not big enough to fit your liquid goods. So, why not pre-package them when you are packing so that you can save a little time in the line? Also, check the guidelines to make sure your products meet the requirements of size. That way, you don't spend extra time with security officers rummaging through your stuff. Number 3. Make notes. Everyone flying internationally will inevitably be given a landing card to fill out to make the process of going through the passport control that much easier. Some of the information that you need for this is, for instance, your accommodations address and other information pertaining to your stay in your destination. The last thing you want to have to do is search through all your documents and baggage to find this. So, a good rule of thumb is to take your Notes app in your phone and write down all the information that you might need. Number 4. That's my bag. You might notice as you're standing at the baggage claim as you watch the luggage go around the carousel that there are a lot of bags that look almost identical. Then, this can be an issue as it'll take you time to identify which one of those bags is yours, and they could potentially lead to someone grabbing the wrong bag. So, one great tip to really look for luggage that you can identify easily. If you do opt to go for a very common type of luggage, you may want to add something to it so you can identify it. Whether that's a ribbon or some stickers, or maybe even some badges, that's up to you. But making your bag unique can save you time at the baggage claim and ensure that you walk away with the right bag. We have luggage covers you can check out using the links in our description. You'll never overlook your bag again, and you'll really be supporting our channel. Number 5. Invest in a luggage tracker. This next tip might be a little pricey at the front end, but the idea of being able to know where your luggage is at all time could save you anxiety and money in the long run. If you're worried about losing your baggage, you can't always invest in a luggage tracker. However, before you do this, you may want to check with the airline that you are flying with to ensure they allow it to be used. There are some airlines that do not permit GPS gadgets in checked baggage. Number 6. Charging cables. Almost all of us have a wide range of electronic gadgets that we travel with nowadays. Maybe the most simple of those is our cell phone. All of these take battery power to operate, and having them go dead during a travel day is almost a crisis. That's why we highly suggest you make sure you have the right charging cables for each of your devices. Many of the airports offer charging ports, but that doesn't mean you have the right cable, so ensuring you have the right ones is also important. You can always look up online and find out what USB ports are available in the airport so that you can ensure you have the right cable. Number 7. Bring your own snacks. If you've ever spent anytime in an airport, you know that the food and snacks there can be quite pricey. So, if you're looking to save a little bit of money, one of our biggest tips is to pack your own snacks. Not only can you eat these snacks in the airport to save money, but also take them with you on the plane. But it doesn't only have to be snacks. You can actually bring other types of foods and meals in with you. Things like instant ramen, oatmeal, and soups can all be brought through security. Then all you have to do is add hot water and you have a budget-friendly meal before your flight. Don't worry about the hot water because most airports and even the airplane itself, you can get hot water for free. Number 8. It gets cold. It gets quite cold when you're up in the air. The air is a little bit thinner and you're higher up in the elevation, which naturally means less warmth is available. So, the simplest tip that we can give you is to ensure that you carry a scarf or sweater with you, whether you have it on you or in the bag handy to throw on when it starts to get a little chilly. Also, just as a side tip, if you happen to like the window seat, you may want to pack something a little heavier because window seats tend to be cooler than those in the aisle. Number 9. Extra clothes grab a pillowcase. If you're anything like us when you travel, you always seem to have extra clothes that can't fit in your checked baggage or on your carry-on. It's always handy to have a pillow when you're taking a flight. So why not solve your problem with two simple things? Grab an empty pillowcase before you go, stuff some of those extra clothes in there, and you automatically have a pillowcase that's actually allowing you to take a few extra outfits with you. Number 10. Compression socks are your friend. Compression socks. They may not be sexy, but they serve a purpose that will help you in the long run. When you are getting ready for a flight, you might want to take the time to invest in compression socks. They will make your trip a little more comfortable and also protect you from potentially having deep vein thrombosis be a problem for you. They're also great for older individuals in order to keep that circulation going and to prevent any sort of issues with the veins in your legs. Number 11. Radiation? In truth, we are surrounded by radiation every day. It may be minute, but it is still there, and as it builds up, it can be a problem in the future. So, you move closer to the sun, you're going to get more radiation, and that means in flights, you have to deal with not only radiation from the electronics within the plane, but also the environment around you. In order to protect yourself against this, one tip is to make sure that you apply a coat of sunscreen before getting on the plane. Number 12. Trouble sleeping? We understand that there are a lot of people out there that have trouble sleeping when you're on a plane. If you are someone who has a lot of trouble falling asleep on the plane, there's a couple of options that you can utilize to help you be able to achieve a little bit of a nap while in midair. You can invest in melatonin pills, a good eye mask, and some earplugs, and this will allow you to block out all of the light and sound. This will let your body to naturally lower itself into sleep. Number 13. Pack spare underwear. It's hard to feel fresh on a flight, especially if it's a long-haul flight, so having a spare set of clothes or even a spare set of underwear to change into is always nice. We suggest that you pack a spare pair of underwear in your carry-on where you can get to it, so that you can change into them whether it be halfway through the flight or towards the end, so that you feel fresh and ready to start your trip. Number 14. Sharing is caring. In the previous video, we talked about downloading entertainment so that you can stay busy while you're on the flight. But if you're traveling with someone, there's no need for you to both do it on your devices unless you want to watch completely different things. Instead, one thing that we suggest is you purchase an earphone splitter so that each of you can enjoy the entertainment you downloaded together. Number 15. Hands-free. Many people simply use their phones now as their television when on a flight, but it can get very tiring having to hold it the whole time. And so one great tip is to invest in a phone stand. Sometimes this can come in the form of a new case. Other times, it might be a little piece you set up and set the phone on. But being able to have your hands free during your flight can be quite helpful. Number 16. Take a load off. We bet that if you've been in the airport, you've marveled at seeing those flight attendants roll around with multiple bags and not look like they're breaking a sweat. This is because they know something you don't. They've invested in something called a J-hook. This tool is a small tool that you can hang on one bag and then hang the other bag on top of it. It lessens the load and makes it much easier to carry around. If you're traveling quite frequently, it might be worth it to spend a little money and invest in this cool accessory. Number 17. Create a kit. There are always little things that some people utilize during their flight. For instance, one of the things a lot of people carry with them is gum. If you're going to have these little things like that, or like aspirin and such, it might be good to have a little pouch specifically designed for all those goods. That way, in flight, if you need them, you can just pull the pouch out and it's simple to find what you need. Number 18. Get a flap. For those flying and checking their baggage, most experts will suggest having a luggage tag attached to your bag. This helps ensure that it's less likely for the bag to get lost. But a simple paper or clear-coated luggage tag still leaves all your information out there for everyone to see. So, to protect that information, we highly suggest you buy a luggage tag that has a flap that covers that information. So, that's it for today's upload. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any top travel videos. And stay tuned for part 3 of our insane travel tips. See you in the next one.